established in 1992. Our mission is to produce Bachelor of Accounting who master in science and technology, have a good characters, integrity, and global insight. To support the graduate competence, we provide extra services such as training and certification, like Islamic banking training, taxation training, internal audit training, external audit training, and most management training. Meanwhile, we also provide certification such as Enterprise Resource Planning from Monsoon SIM and Associate Certified Public Accountant from Indonesian Institute of Public Accountant. To face the business changes in the era of Industry 4.0, the curriculum of Accounting Department focuses on ability to utilize information technology and ability to take strategic decisions. We expect that Accounting Department can keep contribution in producing human resources who are excellent, Islamic, and have a global insight.
Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta has set up a new tagline of Young and Global. In order to speed up this mission, the Department of Accounting proposed to establish International Program of Accounting Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. This program is expected to be the driving force for continuous improvement in providing better services and facilities in education system at the Accounting Department. The increasing needs of graduates with good qualification and international recognition drive the Accounting Department to focus on developing main competencies of technology information, international financial reporting standards, public sector, and Islamic accounting. Under the professional management towards the world-class quality with a vision to become a global-oriented accounting department by focusing on strengthening faith and piety to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, mastering science and technology of accounting, and being the center of excellence which is beneficial for people. With the missions of being actively involved in the nation's development process, enlightenment of people through 3 pillars of higher education, and creating young, noble, and global accountants. Since 2005, Accounting Department Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta has been accredited A. The establishment of academic atmosphere and the development of competitive character are improved continuously. As a result, the public trust to the Accounting Department is even higher, which could be seen from the large number of applicants. Learning in the Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta is supported with good quality of supporting facilities, such as library, where students can access the relevant and appropriate references, such as e-journal and e-book. Administration room, where students get administrative services, and Wi-Fi area, laboratory for practicum, in Kiai Haji Ahmad Dahlan Mosque. Accounting departments also directly supervises Accounting Students Association, which can serve as a facility for students to develop soft skills in the fields of organization and self-development. Besides supported by qualified facilities, academic atmosphere is also established by the certified lecturers academically and practically, who are actively involved in academic and professional activities nationally or internationally, as an effort to renew the accounting science ode. The learning process also refers to the competency-based curriculum, referring to Indonesian National Qualification Framework through learning method approaches of centered learning, discussion, presentation, and problem solving. Accounting Department also tries to create prospective accountants who are professional, responsive, confident, creative, trusted, and innovative on each graduate student of Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Various efforts carried out by Accounting Department, such as providing supporting facilities and establishing cooperation with domestic and foreign agencies, are parts of the process to create a conducive academic atmosphere and increase the achievement of academic community of Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Being with realization that intelligence and people's well-being are the shared responsibilities. Thus, providing the best for the next generation is one responsibility that should be implemented to become excellent and Islamic in the world of accounting nationally and internationally. Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, excellent and Islamic. Yogyakarta. The soul of Java. The cultural richness kept maintained, bearing unpretentious souls, creating young intellectuals who are ready for the world. Hugh, born Muhammadiyah Association, a progressive Islamic organization, engages in various fields of life. One of them is education. By the idea of Professor Dr. Kahar Muzakir on the 1st of March 1981, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta presents to enrich young intellectuals' competence, actualizing Muslim scholars who are noble, competent, confident, able to develop science and technology useful for the nation and world developments.
Accounting Department Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta is a leading accounting department in Indonesia. This department has got A accreditation since 2005, when only a few accounting departments can get this accreditation status. There are many achievements that students have received. Winner in a number of capital market competition, winner in scientific competition, and recently winner of National Enterprise Resource Planning 2018 competition. That 5 students of this department will represent Indonesia to compete in Singapore. Therefore, this department has produced competitive alumni that they can compete in job market while maintaining Islamic values. I believe by joining Accounting UMA, you have made a very good decision to be a successful person in this world and the hereafter, inshallah.
Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta was established in 1992. Our mission is to produce Bachelor of Accounting who master in science and technology, have a good characters, integrity, and global insight. To support the graduate competence, we provide extra services such as training and certification, like Islamic banking training, taxation training, internal audit training, external audit training, and most management training. Meanwhile, we also provide certification such as Enterprise Resource Planning from Monsoon SIM and Associate Certified Public Accountant from Indonesian Institute of Public Accountant. To face the business changes in the era of Industry 4.0, the curriculum of Accounting Department focuses on ability to utilize information technology and ability to take strategic decisions. We expect that Accounting Department can keep contribution in producing human resources who are excellent, Islamic, and have a global insight.
Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta has set up a new tagline of Young and Global. In order to speed up this mission, the Department of Accounting proposed to establish International Program of Accounting Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. This program is expected to be the driving force for continuous improvement in providing better services and facilities in education system at the Accounting Department. The increasing needs of graduates with good qualification and international recognition drive the accounting department to focus on developing main competencies of technology information, international financial reporting standards, public sector, and Islamic accounting. Under the professional management towards the world-class quality with a vision to become a global-oriented accounting department by focusing on strengthening faith and piety to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, mastering science and technology of accounting, and being the center of excellence which is beneficial for people. With the missions of being actively involved in the nation's development process, enlightenment of people through 3 pillars of higher education, and creating young, noble, and global accountants. Since 2005, Accounting Department Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta has been accredited A. The establishment of academic atmosphere and the development of competitive character are improved continuously. As a result, the public trust to the accounting department is even higher, which could be seen from the large number of applicants. Learning in the accounting department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta is supported with good quality of supporting facilities, such as library, where students can access the relevant and appropriate references, such as e-journal and e-book. Administration room, where students get administrative services, and Wi-Fi area, laboratory for practicum, in Kiai Haji Ahmad Dahlan Mosque. Accounting departments also directly supervises Accounting Students Association, which can serve as a facility for students to develop soft skills in the fields of organization and self-development. Besides supported by qualified facilities, academic atmosphere is also established by the certified lecturers academic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. This is General Lecturer as our speaker, Mr. Mohid Rahmat, PhD CIM. If everyone are ready to start, I will open this session. Before start, I remind you to open your camera and mute your audio. The Honorable Mohid Rahmat, PhD CIM, as a speaker for today's event. The Honorable Muhammad Bahrul Ilmi, SEMESY, PhD, as a speaker, as moderator for today's event. The Honorable Dia Eka Ari Sekarja Tiningsi, SEMSC, QIA, AKCA. The Honorable Dr. Harjanti Widyastuti, SEMSI. The Honorable Dr. Etik Resnawati, SEMSC. The Honorable Fitri Wahyuni, SEMSC, as Head of International Program of Accounting, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. And the Honorable Accounting Lecturers and the participants who attend today's general lecture. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Amma ba'd. Praise your glorious presence of God Almighty, who gave His guidance and mercy of Allah to all of us so that we can attend the general lecture even with the topic Introduction to Accounting, Cash, Frauds, and International Controls. As a speaker, Mr. Mohid Rahmat, organized by International Program of Accounting on this morning with healthy state. Blessings and greetings let us always devote to our Lord, the Prophet Muhammad, who had brought us from the time of Jahiliyah, heading into the era that is full of inayah. Let me introduce myself. My name is Salma Atila Ifa as the Master of Ceremony. Here, I would like to show you about the agendas we have arranged today. The first agenda is opening. The second agenda is speech by the head of International Program of Accounting. The next agenda is general lecture session. The next agenda is Q&A session. The next agenda is photo session. And the last agenda is closing. Let us start the first agenda, that is opening, by reciting Basmalah altogether. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The next agenda is speech by the head of International Program of Accounting, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, which will be delivered by Ms. Fitri. For Ms. Fitri, time is yours.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. And I would say hi to Dr. Mohid Rahmat. Yeah, so the Honorable Mohid Rahmat, PhD CAM, as a speaker today in visiting professor, and also Muhammad Bahrul Ilmi, PhD, as moderator for visiting professor today, and also all of the students. First, I would like to say thank you very much, not only for the speaker, Mr. Mohid Rahmat, or Indonesia, we also call Pak Mohid. Yeah. Yeah, because I believe that you have a tight schedule and you give time to us to share your knowledge to our students. So I would like to say thank you very much to you. And also I would like to say thank you for Bapak Bahrul Ilmi as well, because Pak Bahrul share his time to be a moderator today. And also thank you for students who attend for today's event is visiting professor. So visiting professor is a part of an international experience. So in university, international experience is one of way to face the globalization. All of the element of the university must do it, and international experience can be from university level and also faculty or department level. From university level, there are exchange students, national community services, and for faculty or department level, we have like some schools, and also this event is a visiting professor. So visiting professor, we hope a student can have another learning experience from foreign lectures of professor. And this event, is a visiting professor. Almost of the subject in this semester, we have visiting professor in International Program of Accounting. And yeah, so that's why we invite Dr. or Mr. Bapak Mohid, and thank you, Pak Mohid. And today, we hope the student will get materials from subject Introduction to Accounting with the some subject cash fraud and internal control. And also I hope with this event students not only got international experience but also knowledge from the subject. So akhirul kalam, thank you. Akhirul kalam, billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ms. Fitri, for the speech. The next agenda is general lecture session with the topic Introduction to Accounting, Cash, Frauds, and Internal Controls. This event will be guided by our moderator, Mr. Bahrul Ilmi. He is the head of tech division in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta and very popular with the topic we will discuss today. For Mr. Bahrul Ilmi, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for Sister Salma. So we can start now. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam. Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, good morning, Dr. Mohid Rahmat.
Yeah, good morning. Alhamdulillah.
How are you
How are
today?
you? Good, Alhamdulillah.
So how's the weather in Malaysia?
Rain every day.
Rain every day. It seems like in Indonesia also it's rainy every day. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your time and thank you for this opportunity. We can learn from you about the something issue that maybe around the world regarding the audit and internal control. So I think before Dr. Mohid will deliver his presentation, especially for the international accounting. So I would like to read first and to introduce to all of students here. I think you can get the new inspiration also from the Dr. Mohid, because Dr. Mohid has a lot of the experience and the research, and also he got some degree and PhD also in some university. So Dr. Mohid Rahmat's PhD actually is from the Batu Pahat Johor, Malaysia. He married already, and now he got the bachelor and master degree in accounting in University Kebangsaan Malaysia, and also he got the PhD in accounting La Trobe University of Australia. So with his experience and also his excellency, he has the membership, professional membership affiliation from the Malaysia Institute of Accountant and Chartered Accountant Malaysia 2017 and 2007 until now, and also affiliation Malaysia Institute of Certified Public Accountants, Academy of International Business, and member of Accounting and Finance Association of Australia, New Zealand 2006 and 2007 during his PhD actually. Okay, so from his experience from the administration past, now he has award also by Excellence Supervisor Award, graduate on time, Faculty Economic and Management in July 2020. This is good supervisor. Good supervisor. Yeah, you can. Okay, inshallah. So his excellent supervisor also excellent thesis award in Faculty of Economic and Management 2015, and also he has the best paper award in 9th International Management Accounting Conference 2018. So he has also for the index citation web from the Web of Science, Scopus, and I think we need to learn a lot with the Dr. Mohid, because Dr. Mohid has experience, a lot of the publication, so we can learn everything about the international accounting. So I think this is a good time for all the students to listen and to understand about the cash fraud and internal control from the Muhammad Mohid Rahmat. So I think this I give the time. I think the time is about the 1 hour. 1 hour, I think. About 1 hour, yeah. 1 hour. After that, we can discuss Q&A from the student, or maybe if don't have any Q&A, maybe we can discuss about the cash fraud and internal control. I think the issue is will be very interesting about the digital and accounting, right? Because fraud in digital accounting is very interesting. And now actually we made the new technology, especially how the accounting we made. Okay, I think that interesting for me. So Dr. Muhammad Mohid Rahmat, his time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, Dr. Muhammad Bahrul, okay, for introducing me. Okay, I think you praised me too much. Okay.
Too much.
Okay, basically, first of all, okay, and also welcome to all audience, okay, because you are willing to hear my talk. Actually, I just want to share my knowledge. I'm not expert in this in the world, okay, but I just to share my experience and also my knowledge to all of you. Okay, and first of all, I would like to thank to the organizer, particularly for Fitri Wahyuni because inviting me to give this general lecture, and of course it's my pleasure actually to have the opportunity to share with you about this topic. This topic is very interesting. Okay, when we talk about cash, when we talk about cash, and basically cash is very related to fraud. Okay, so that's very interesting issue. But actually, initially I just got a bit confused because the title should be in introduction of accounting. So that's why my slide actually focus more on more on that syllabus. Okay, but now I heard that the audience is all the accounting student program, the international program. So maybe I need to be dilute about the coverage. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I would like to share my slide first. I think everyone have received the slide that I given to the organizers, isn't it?
Yes, I feel ready.
Okay. Okay, so everyone can see this slide. Okay, but basically, as I mentioned earlier, that basically my coverage is basically referred to the introduction of accounting syllabus, so a bit a bit thorough. Okay, well anyway, maybe but I only was given about 1 hour. I'm not sure that I can finish all this topic in 1 hour. Okay, but
Okay.
I try to stick to the important point, right? And I think the technical part, I think you can see with to the slide, and maybe you can understand, because at the end of the part, I just give you technical part. I think particularly for this student who take this course, I think you can understand, okay, how to prepare that medical solution, for example. Okay, so today, first of all, I would like to share with you what we call a cash and cash equivalent. Okay, so there is, sorry, this one is actually the coverage, and I think we move forward because I have limited time. Okay, so when we talk about cash and similar assets are called liquid asset because they can be readily used to settle such obligation. Basically, when we talk about cash, everyone know is very closely related to money. Everyone know about money. Okay, I think everyone here is know about money, and money is very useful. Okay, in Malaysia we call ringgit, in Indonesia maybe you call it as rupiah, and maybe in other countries rupee, Taiwan ente, and so many other type of currency they use. But money actually is very useful to ensure that we can survive in our life. Okay, but sometimes money can make some people become a nightmare. Okay, so and we can see there are so many scandal over the world. Basically, they're looking for that money. Okay, looking for that money. So actually, money is important, but we have to manage it. Okay, basically, and in the organization, money is not only dollar and cent, but it's also include maybe coin and amount of deposit in bank. Okay, check account and some saving account. All of this is included, is considered as cash. Okay, such also include items such as customer check and money orders. This kind of instrument, okay, is considered as cash as well, because it can be used anytime. Okay, and when we call cash equivalent, that means actually referring to certain contract. Certain contract. Normally, this contract can be diluted in short period. Normally, in accounting, we use about at least less than 3 months. So all these instruments that can be diluted within this period, we can also consider it as cash equivalent. For example, we can see about equity, security equity. Okay, equity security or bond security, debt security. But in short term, not the long term one. Okay, so the short term period of share equity or bond debt equity can be also considered as cash equivalent, because company can get the money, can receive the money in short period. So in the company, all of this can be considered as cash, okay, as cash. But basically, as I mentioned before, that this cash is actually very diluted, okay, and it must be managed carefully, because when it was diluted, that means it can be easily manipulated or maybe stolen by certain parties or certain employees in the company. Okay. Okay, that's why cash management actually is very important. Okay, in the company, cash management is very important. Not only to ensure that cash is not stolen by the fraudster or the employee, but of course, cash is very important to ensure that the companies can be operated efficiently. Okay, it can be operated efficiently to achieve the goal of the companies. Okay. So cash management is very important. Okay, basically the goal of cash management basically is plan cash receipt to meet cash payment when due. Okay, this is very important because we have obligation to be paid within the period. Okay, within a certain period. Then when the obligation is due, that means during that time we must have some cash to pay that cash. So that's why it's very important we have cash during that period. Okay, and of course we need to keep a minimum level of cash necessary to operate. That means we only need some cash that to operate the business. Okay, we not need there are so many cash in our account, in our drawer, but the money is not effective. That means we cannot receive any reward from the money. Okay, that's why effective cash management involve applying the following cash management principle. This is some principle. Okay, first of all, encourage collection of receivable. Okay, this is one way of the company manage cash. Okay, to ensure that the company always have cash to pay for any expenses due. Okay, so by encouraging customer to pay cash, that means we will have cash on time. And normally in the companies they will use by providing discount for customer who pay earlier. Okay, I think this normal term in sale contract. Normally we give maybe, like, for example, 2% 2/10, and then full in 30 days, for example. That means if the customer pay the receivable within the 10 days, they will get 2% discount. That is one example how the companies can encourage the customer, okay, the customer to pay earlier, okay, their receivable. Okay. However, in our side, okay, as a company, we want to keep our money in house. Okay, we prefer to delay payment of liabilities. We prefer actually to pay our expenses close to the date, because money is cash money is important in our entity. So if you have money, we can manage the money properly. Okay. If we don't have money, a bit difficult for us to continue our operation. That's why we good management of cash. We try as good as we can to delay payment, but not default. Okay, just try to pay at the close to the date. That's one of example. Okay, and keep on the necessary level of asset. Here we talk about money. Okay, plan the expenditure. Okay, we plan that the expenditure that the company would like to expand. Okay, and of course invest excess cash. Actually, these 3 points a bit related. Okay, I have mentioned earlier that basically we only need some money that useful for ensuring that the efficiency of the operation. Okay, we not need surplus money in our company. So we need to ensure that the surplus money in our company must be maybe invest to other things. So from the investment we can get some other income. For example, maybe we invest into at least the minimum. We at least invest into the bank account, investment in bank. So at least every month we can receive in Islamic bank we will receive profit, okay, because the Islamic contract. But in conventional banking we will receive what we call riba, okay, or interest, okay. At least that is the minimum investment that the company okay can use to ensure that the money is not useless in our account. Okay, so that's some example how we can manage the assets. Okay, asset particularly when we talk about cash. Okay, and here, okay, of course, cash management have a trend. Okay, all business transaction, okay, that happen in the company will involve cash. Okay, cash, either cash receipt or cash payment. Okay, and nowadays there are no more barter system. Okay, no barter system, no more I pay rice with flour, no more. You know, now everything is by using cash. And since the cash is absolutely liquid, thus it can be easily stolen or misused by employees, by fraudster. Okay, and basically the threat is come from two type of uh, reason. Okay, so the first one is maybe due to human error. This one is we cannot avoid, because people, okay, as a human, people normally do a mistake. Okay, so maybe due to negligence, fatigue, misjudgment, confusion in due to the transaction. So maybe the staff or the employee deal with the transaction incorrectly. Okay, for example, okay, maybe there are abnormal transaction happen in the company. Let's say the company receive a donation from the government. Okay, but this transaction never happened before in the companies. But so maybe the accountant may be a bit confused how to treat this donation that received from the government. Okay, just for example. So all of this can make error. Okay, can make error among the employees. Yeah. However, this, I think human error is not so critical, because it's normally the person in charge not intend to make the error. Okay. And let's say if the transaction audited by the internal auditor or by the external auditor, the probability of the error is detected is higher. Okay, but the problem is human fraud. Okay, and this one is the most critical one. Okay, so how we define fraud? Fraud actually, in terms of the nature, is almost similar with the human error. Okay, the nature is almost similar, but the main difference is fraud normally intended. Okay, the employee intend to defeat internal control for personal gain. This means the activity, okay, the wrong activity is performed by the employee intentionally, okay, to get personal benefit. That is that we call as a fraud. Okay, and okay, and when the fraudster, okay, when the fraudster intentionally perform, okay, the activities, and so normally they will try to cover up. Okay, they will try to conceal, okay, conceal the activity. So it may become difficult, okay, to us, to internal auditors, to even for external auditor to detect that fraud, because the fraudster maybe conceal the fraud activity. Okay, and it will become more worse, okay, if the fraud involve collusion among employees in the companies, or maybe involve employees out, no, sorry, involve a third party outside. Okay, and we can see that there are so many fraud right now, basically involve the outsiders. Okay, involve the outsiders. We can see maybe we can see some of the example there. Okay, okay. Okay, so I don't want to limit the story to the case. So I would like to share with you about the general perspective of the fraud. Okay, so fraud, as I mentioned, is the intentional or dishonest act of deceiving employer for personal gain at the cost of the employer. Okay, that means in this case the employer will bear the cost. Okay, but the benefit is reward if gained by the fraudster. Okay, basically when we talk about fraud, there are three type of fraud. Okay, three type of fraud, and this one is not referring to cash only. Okay, I just give you a broader perspective of fraud. Okay, and normally the first type is misappropriation or mismanagement or misuse of asset. Okay, in our case right now, misapplication or misuse of asset. Misuse of cash here. Okay, and and this category actually is normally performed by lower level. Okay, lower level of employees. Okay, normally. Okay, I give you certain example. Okay, misapplication of asset. Sometimes we think this problem is not material, not significant. Okay, that's why we use we do it. Okay, for example, okay, we use a photocopy machine, of company's photocopy machine to photocopy our personal document. Okay, that is also can be considered as misapplication of asset. Okay, another example, maybe a CEO driver. Okay, after he send the CEO come to the office, okay, they use the CEO's car, the Mercedes-Benz. They round the Yogyakarta city. Okay, they're looking for cewek. For example. So this is another example of the misuse of asset. Okay, but normally this kind of misuse normally is looking as non-material. Okay, they try to rationalize that this problem is not material. So that's why they insist to do it. Okay, and maybe it can become the more serious one. Okay, maybe the warehouse keeper stole the company's inventory and sell the inventory behind the door. So there is the more serious misuse of asset. Okay, and in this case, okay, the misuse of cash. Of course, okay, there are many ways how the employees can misuse cash. Okay, we will discuss about what is the reason. Okay, the factor that normally give incentive for employee to commit with fraud. Okay, there is mismanipulation, and this one basically is referring to asset. Okay, physical asset. Okay, and the second one is manipulating financial reporting, and this one is basically the most common one. Okay, when we're looking at the accounting scandal over the world right now, basically they will refer to the second one, manipulation of financial reporting. Okay, maybe you never know, never hear about this term. Okay, but it is common in accounting. Okay, we call it as earnings management. Okay, income smoothing. Okay, window dressing. Okay, there is term that normally used in manipulating financial statement, or as a whole we can call it as they cooking the book. Okay, they cooking the financial statement book. Okay, by using certain method. Okay, and by and the worst scenario, they only use the accounting policies. That is the main problem. Okay, because basically there is no cash flow in and out in the company, only the changes of the accounting policy. Okay, and of course the third one is, I think, the most threat of our country. Okay, not only in Malaysia but also in Indonesia. I think corruption. Okay, corruption is the obvious one. Okay, corruption, and also corruption in terms of bribery, embezzlement, breach of trust. This is, I think, the most fraud that happened in our country. Okay, and I think you cannot ignore it. Okay, this is a real fact. Okay, even in Malaysia, yes, this is the cancer right now. Okay, I think in Indonesia, okay, not less than that. Okay, maybe more serious. Okay, about this problem. Okay, and when we talk about corruption, basically we have to understand a bit about the difference. Actually, they look similar, but a bit different. Okay, when we talk about bribery, okay, normally we receive an offer from certain party. Okay, the bribe provider lah. Okay, we receive some from them. That is normally we call bribery, but we call it as embezzlement or maybe breach of trust if we use our position to request from third party. Okay, we use our position. Maybe we have position as maybe purchasing officer, and we use that our position to get benefit from third party. So that is, we call it as embezzlement. Okay, so this is basically this is the major type of fraud, because when you look at more detail, there are more type of fraud can be classified into these three types. Okay, but the major one is this. Okay, so, and I give you the example. Okay, this one. Okay, I think this kind of fraud is you have familiar with. Okay, when we talk Enron. Okay, I'm not sure because when I ask my student, okay, here, okay, when I told them about this fraud, they also don't know about that. Okay, maybe they don't aware about all this problem. Okay, Enron Corporation fraud. Okay, and followed by Adelphi, Tyco, Welcome, and many other cases in the US. Okay, Carrion, KLC in the UK. Okay, Satyam, PBS, Renong in Malaysia. There are so many. Okay, and I don't want to mention about YMDB. Okay, I don't want to mention about it, but there are so many fraud in our country. And how about in your country? I think there are many also. Okay, I just read from one paper published by Astuti, I think from Veteran University, Yogyakarta. I think your neighbor, isn't it? Okay, and she also mentioned that a few there are so many fraud have opted in Indonesia. Okay, for example, PT, what we call PT, perusahaan terhad kimia farma, TBK, PT Waskita Karya, PTK, Pakuan Jati, Sari Husada, TBK, and there are a few others. Okay, there's a few cases of fraud opted in Indonesia, and of course, I hope everyone know about Jiwasraya mega scandal. Okay, anyone know about this? I think I thought you more expert about this issue. I only read in the media. Maybe my understanding may be wrong. Okay, because I just read in the media. Maybe this happened in your country. Maybe you know better about me. But this is an example. Okay, of fraud. Okay, of fraud happened in the last company, and this fraud, Jiwasraya fraud, involve three types of fraud that I mentioned before. Okay, involve misuse of cash, involve also manipulation of financial reporting, and also corruption. Okay, so there is the example of so many fraud happen in outside. Okay, and basically all this company is giant company, large company. Okay, and if this fraud happen in large company that in which we expect that this company have a good internal control. So what do you expect? What will happen in small company, in SME, small and medium company? What do you expect? So there is question mark. Okay, so this means we have to expect that the fraud opportunity will be higher in kind of those companies, small and medium. Okay, and another issue I want to raise here, that basically all those scandal that involving white scholars. That means involving top management and executive directors. They're referring to person that have authority to make a decision in the companies, and they normally override the rule. Okay, so that's what they can perform those illegal activity. And basically in company, this kind of mismanagement can be only monitored by the effective corporate governance. Okay, but now we back to our case. We only discuss about cash. Okay, cash in small company. So I would like to to bring you to another fraud category of fraud that we call it employee fraud. Okay, employee fraud. Then this one is related to our perspective right now in introduction of accounting. Okay, employee fraud. And employee fraud is when an employee knowingly lies, deceive, or steal from a company with the intent to obtain personal benefit or compensation of some type. Basically, what they do actually same thing. Mismanagement of asset, manipulation. Manipulation could be not. Okay, maybe corruption or embezzlement. Okay, there is the normally two type of fraud normally commit by lower level of employee. Okay, officer, peon, dispatch, or maybe certain level employees who do not have authority to make a decision. Okay, so this kind of fraud, okay, normally performed by them. Okay, so and employee fraud for the statistic. Okay, this is the statistic. I think is quite long ago. But the amount is huge. Okay, the Association of Fraud Examiner estimate this that 7% of annual revenue, or about $994 billion, is lost to employee fraud. Okay, and this one is happened in United States. Okay, but there is no specific statistic in Malaysia and also in Indonesia. But the recent information that I received from my student in Saudi, in Gulf country, this employee fraud is also among the top fraud occurs in the company. Okay, so what type? I give you some example. What type of employee fraud? Okay, employee fraud. Some example is a bookkeeper. Okay, in a small company diverted a certain amount of bill payment to her personal bank account over a 3-year period. They sit in the position. Okay, this is some example. A shipping clerk with 28 years experience, 28 years of service. It's been experience in the company. Ship certain amount of merchandise to himself. Okay, so this is some example. Okay, a computer operator embezzle 1.5 million from a bank over 2-year period. Okay, over 2-year period. This another example, and a real example in Malaysia. Okay, I give you a real example in Malaysia. Happened about 30 years ago. 30 years ago. During that time, I only a student. Okay, I'm a student, still a student, and you can imagine 30 years ago, the technology is not right now. Okay, yeah, there is a computer, but there is no online transaction, online real-time, no online real-time transaction, no WhatsApp, no Facebook, and so on. Okay, but during that time, that officer is very smart. Okay, to manipulate, to hijack the bank system. Okay, to transfer a dollar and cent. Okay, during that time, what happened in Malaysia, Bank Negara Malaysia just introduced a new policy about round up dollar and cent. If the transaction is let's say $1.02. So will be round up to become 1 ringgit, $1. So 2 cents, the 2 cents is transferred into their personal account, and no one know what they do, what they did, okay, for a few years, okay. So there is some of a real example that happened in our country during that time, okay, and suddenly it was revealed after, okay, because the income is not barokah, isn't it? Okay, you cheat the bank system, okay, you take the bank money, okay, for your personal gain, and it was not barokah, and at the end of the day, Allah tunjuklah, Allah show us, okay, and it was revealed after they change their lifestyle, okay, they change their lifestyle because they suddenly their life change drastically as a rich people, while their income from the bank as a bank officer maybe not capable to they cannot afford to have that rich lifestyle by using their own salary. Okay, so at the end of the day, okay, so that is happen, real happen in our country 30 years ago, and you can imagine anything can happen right now when everything now is online. Okay, so we can do transaction from anywhere. Okay, yes, of course, the accounting system can minimize the human error, but at the same time, okay, there are another threat, okay, can be occurred from the digital system, okay. Okay, and now it's already 10:46. I think I have only how many minutes, Mr. Moderator?
Oh, okay. I think about 1 hour. I think. One hour.
1 hour. Okay, so now I discussed with you about the fraud triangle. Okay, fraud triangle. Actually, this one the reason, the factors that I mentioned before, why employees normally commit to fraud. Okay, because they have an opportunity. Okay, opportunity in the companies that encourage them, motivate them to commit with that fraud. For example, weak of internal control. Okay, poor tone of the top, okay, inadequate accounting system. So this then, and when the internal control in the company is lacking, that means it will give opportunity for the employees to commit with certain fraud, because they perceive that if they perform they do that fraud, the companies will not detect and that fraud they did. Okay. Okay, and maybe I just brief about this because still there are so many slides I want to cover. Okay, and then pressure and incentive. Okay, an employee's mindset toward committing fraud. Okay, based on, for example, based on bonus, based on financial metric. Okay, because that means based on the company's staff performance evaluation. Okay, can also encourage staff to make fraud. Okay, because for example, if they did not achieve the target, so maybe they will do something, okay, to ensure that they can receive the target. Okay, investors and analysts expectation, personal incentive, and this one I think the most interesting, personal incentive. Okay, for example, I give a layman example, because maybe the officer's wife, okay, cannot see the neighbors change something. Okay, let's say, okay, when the wife see the neighbors change a new car, tell his husband, I want a new car. Okay, when the neighbor buy a new LED TV 90 inches, oh, I want it too. Okay, so the husband becomes stressful, become pressure. Okay, so this can also make the staff officer maybe will involve, okay, in to make fraud, for making fraud in the companies. Okay, and the reason is normally we always rationalize. Okay, we rationalize the reason why we do it. Okay. For example, the top management treated me wrongly. Okay. I actually perform better, but the management punished me. Okay. Okay. And another maybe another example is other people do not know what I'm doing. Okay. So I can because then, and this normally happen when the company is lacking of internal control. There is no segregation of duties in the company, and this scenario will encourage this kind of rationalization, because they believe that if they steal the money from the company, no one know what they did. Okay, and sometimes we try to rationalize that what we did is not material, right? Like I just mentioned before, you use the company's photocopy machine. Okay, I just put in maybe 3 to 5 pages, and it's not material. Okay, we rationalize it. Okay, but it's still, but we must remember that it is not your right. Okay, because the machine is belong to the company, and you do it for your personal purpose. So this is not right. Okay, still we consider as so we rationalize because it's not material. But we need to remember in Yaumul Masar, no more issue about no material, because even it is only a last of atom or just a bit of zarah. Okay, everything will be counted. That is why we have to remember that. Okay, in human in life we can give any reason, okay, for to rationalize it, but we must remember, okay, and at hereafter we cannot deny it. Okay, we cannot deny it. Okay, so we go back to the basic element. Okay, how we can minimize all those kind of fraud. Okay, how we can minimize, particularly in this case, how we can minimize okay, the cash from stolen by the employees or misused by the employees. Okay, so the one of the solution is the companies must establish an internal control system. Basically, to prevent fraud, in the companies, it is responsibility of the companies to implement two systems. The first one is a complete accounting system, and the second one is an effective internal control. These two elements actually interrelated, okay, and these two systems can help the companies to minimize fraud from often in their companies. And basically, when we talk about internal control system, basically it's broadly defined as the procedures and process used by a manager or company, of course, to protect asset or safeguard its asset. Okay, to process information to ensure that the accounting system process information accurately, and at the end of the day, the accounting information produced from the system is reliable. Okay, and of course, promote efficient operation. Okay, because by implementing the internal control, all the employees, all the staff will follow the guideline, okay, provided by the companies, and this will ensure that the operation will go smoothly. Okay, and also as adherent to company policies and ensure compliance with laws and also regulation. Okay, so this the reason internal control is important in our companies. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I not share the presentation view, isn't it? Okay,
No, we can say that. We can say that the slide.
Okay, all right. Okay. So in terms of internal control system, okay, and I think I need to a bit brief about all this point. Okay, management is responsible for designing and applying internal control by establishing 5 elements. Okay, 5 elements, and this element, okay, this internal control element basically is the ideal one. Okay, supposedly is established in the companies. Okay, the element is begin with control environment. Okay, risk assessment, control procedures, and monitoring, and the other one is information and communication. And this 5 element actually is very important, okay, to ensure that the internal control system will perform, will be implemented effectively. Okay, and I just give you a brief definition about this. Control environment basically is referring to top management, okay, top management initiative. The control environment is the overall attitude of management and employees about the importance of control. Okay, basically referring to this factor, okay, management philosophy and operating style. Okay, the company's organizational structure is clear. Okay, so the authority and also the responsibility of its staff in the companies clearly designated. Okay, and clearly explained. So anybody who replace that position, they will understand. Okay, what is the task, what is the job. Okay, and the company's personnel policies. Okay, and basically, I maybe summarize this issue. This issue is referring to the top management awareness about the importance of internal control in the companies. Okay, if the and their attitude toward the importance of the internal control. If the top management aware, okay, understand that internal control is very important to minimize fraud from happening in the company, so they will do something. They will invest. Okay, they will invest. Okay, in the organization to ensure that the internal control is effective. But if the top management is not really aware about the importance of the internal control, so they maybe don't care. Okay, and maybe they will just set up ineffective internal control or control procedures in relation to the accounting system process. So that's why when we talk about control element, basically is the umbrella of the internal control system. Without this umbrella, the rest element is gone. Okay, the rest element is gone. Okay, okay, and the second one is risk assessment. Okay, this one is also about awareness of the top management. To what extent the top management aware with any threat that maybe happen from outside or inside, from outside of our outside of organization, or internal from the internal part that can maybe impair or maybe can affect our business operation. Okay, so it is a process to identify potential hazard and analyze what would happen if a hazard occurs, and business impact analysis for determining the potential impact resulting from the interruption of time-sensitive and critical business process. So the top management will analyze. If they're aware about this problem, they will analyze it and they will consider the potential impact, and at the end of the day, they try to do something to minimize the potential impact. So that is very important. Okay, let's say I think I just give you a very close example to our life right now. Okay, COVID-19, okay, pandemic COVID-19 right now. Okay, there is actually hazard. Okay, and the companies cannot control this problem. Okay, and not only the company but also over the world cannot handle this problem. Okay, but we can analyze how this pandemic COVID-19 will affect our business, our operation. Okay, so if the top management aware about this problem, maybe they can understand. Now, face-to-face operation maybe not possible. So maybe we need to change to digital transaction, e-commerce, for example. Okay, that's the way how we minimize the impact of the risk that come to our company. Okay, that's very important. But normally, small and medium companies, they don't aware about this, and this is actually the most problem of our small companies who practice in industries. Not only in Indonesia, I think in Malaysia is as well. Okay, it's a big problem because many of the managers and top managers, they don't aware about the importance of this management activity. Okay, and control procedures. And this one actually the most related to our case right now. Okay, when we talk about cash, how to control cash, I think this one actually the element that we have to establish. Okay, that means there is the basic principle of the control for manage our accounting process, accounting system. Okay, to ensure that every transaction have occurred in the company has been treated appropriately and reported accordingly according to the MFRS in Malaysia, and in Indonesia will be international accounting standard. Okay, establishment of responsibility, and this the second one is segregation of duties. Okay, and of course we have to document, we must support with the document. Okay, for all transactions that happen in the company must be supported by the document as an evidence that the transaction has been occurred in the companies. Okay, and when we talk about segregation of duties, there are two perspectives. Okay, first we must ensure that different job must be performed by different individual. Okay, that is what we talk about segregation of duties. But in the companies, normally the function is interrelated. Okay, interrelated. That's why we for best practice of internal control, this interrelated transaction, interrelated activity must be segregated, okay, by different individual. Okay, I will show you later when we talk about the sale. Okay, sale on counter. Okay, and then physical control. Okay, this one is also important. Okay, to ensure that all assets regarding to the accounting system and also operation in the company must be physically controlled. Like say in our case, maybe we talk about check. Okay, so check must be kept safely in the maybe what we call maybe strong box. Okay, peti besi, for example. Okay, and only certain authority officer can only access to the safety box, for example. Okay, that's physical control. And finally is about independent internal verification. Okay, and this is also very important. Okay, that means every transaction before, for example, if we want to make a payment, certain payment for certain expenses, so it is important there are supervisor or maybe the upper level of officer to review the transaction to ensure that the transaction is actually is real transaction, not a fictitious, not a fake transaction. Okay, so that is we call is independent, and this one is we will see again when we talk about the cash later on. And of course, human resource control. This is also important to be controlled because human being. So we have 1,000 staff, 1,000 intention, 10,000 intention, 1,000 desirable desire. So it's not easy. And the other one is information and communication. This is another element of internal control in terms of dissemination of information. Okay, information in the company is very important, but the information must be disseminated to all parties appropriately. Okay, and summarize in financial reporting system. Okay, basically information and communication system is referring to a complete accounting system. Okay, it is referring to complete accounting system. That is the way how we communicate all information in the companies. That means the accounting system, complete accounting system, is a system that can capture all transactions happen in the companies. Okay, and then the transaction can be analyzed. Then it can be analyzed based on the accounting definition. Can be analyzed and then recorded, generalized. Recorded or generalized, and then posting into ledger, and finally reporting in the financial statement. That is the complete set of the accounting system. Okay, we're referring to information and communication in the companies. And of course, finally, is about monitoring. Okay, monitoring here is referring to monitoring is referring to independent review by independent parties to ensure that the internal control is effective. Is effective. Okay, normally in large firm, maybe they have internal auditor, so they can internal auditor will perform these responsibilities. In small companies, maybe they will if they don't have internal audit department, so they will maybe they will appoint external auditors to perform that function. Okay, so there is monitoring. Otherwise, maybe the small company maybe can appoint certain supervisor or maybe certain investigator, okay, to perform that responsibility. Okay, so when in the monitoring, normally I just maybe brief. Okay, this is just some example, maybe indicating of fraud. Okay, abrupt change in lavish lifestyle. Okay, close social relationship with particular suppliers. Okay, refusing to take a vacation. Okay, okay, they have worked in that position 28 years, but when we ask him to take vacation, okay, they don't want. So maybe there is something they want to cover up. Okay, they don't maybe they don't they maybe worry if there are another person will in charge the position, they will okay cover up. Okay, they will reveal the fraud that they may be made in that position. Okay, frequent borrowing from other employees. Okay, this one is in terms of people. And next is referring to accounting system. Okay, missing document, unusual increase in customer refund, for example. Okay, different between daily cash receipt and blank deposit. Sudden increase in slow payment. Backlog in recording transaction. Approved transaction without completed document. Okay, and I think this is a common one. Tender or contract given to the unqualified supplier. Okay, so this there is certain example of fraud that we have to monitor. Okay, now we going to the of course, okay, there are limitations of internal control. No, there is no perfect internal control in any organization, and of course, due to human element control, the human element of control, maybe fatigue, maybe bored, okay, maybe and of course, okay, normally fraudster, okay, they don't care, okay, how effective the internal control implemented in the company, because he is a fraudster, okay, they will try, okay, they will try to do something to override the internal control system. Okay, and of course the next limitation of internal control, because I have mentioned that previously, that is the ideal internal control system that the company must establish, but the problem is cost benefit consideration. Okay, is it basically it's not practical for small firm, okay, to implement, okay, the effective, okay, the ideal internal control to implement all that element. Of course, they don't have maybe they don't have fund to invest in the complete accounting system, or maybe they don't what we call, they do not have enough staff to do a segregation of duties, for example. So there is there is the basic limitation, okay, to establish a good internal control in the company. Okay, now we're going to the cash. I hope maybe so how many minutes that can you give me, Dr. Bahrul?
So I think about 10 minutes again, it's okay.
10 minutes, okay. Okay, so I have to quick, okay. So
Yeah.
I just introduce to you a few methods how to control cash in our company. Of course, cash is the asset that most likely to be stolen or used improperly in a business, okay. And normally this kind of cash normally involve two type of transaction: receiving cash and also make a payment. Okay, so that's why control of cash basically involve certain element. Okay, an effective system of the control that protect cash and cash equivalent should meet three basic guidelines. Okay, handling cash is separated from record keeping for cash. This is interrelated. I mentioned the interrelated function. Okay, so handling cash, that means the staff who receive cash must be different from a clerk who make a record. Okay, and also staff who handling the cash in the safety box. Okay, cash received are promptly deposited in bank. If there is as good as you can, we must to deposit, okay, cash we receive to the bank as soon as possible. Okay, and cash disbursement are authorized and made by check, or nowadays could be EFT lah, not nowadays, electronic fund transfer. Okay, so there is basic element for cash control. Now I just brief. Okay, for cash receive, basically normally company receive cash from sale, okay, from sale, okay, and then from the sale company make a payment, and there are two type: payment on counter and also payment by credit. That's mean making payment maybe by account, okay, and that's why normally there are three type of cash receipt. Cash receipt in over the counter. This is normally cash basis sale, okay, in the counter, and the other one is referring to normally is credit sale, okay, credit sale. That's why normally customer will give check later on, okay, and normally by post or by mail, okay. And then the current alternative is using electronic fund transfer, because nowadays internet banking is very efficient. So many companies now have changed to the third method, yeah, to pay their purchase, okay, to pay their purchase. Okay, so I think I need to skip this one because just okay. But anyway, this one is one example of how we can control the cash receipt, right, at the counter. This means cash receipt by the cash register. So there are what you call cash register here, okay, and then cash receipt sent to the another clerk by using the another clerk to deposit into the bank, and the receipt must be given to the accounting department, and also it is recorded by another clerk. This is some example of segregation of duties. Okay, but I have limited time, so maybe I have to quick about this. Okay, and I think yes, there are possibility of cash short and short or cash short and over during the chain, particularly in terms of cash counter, cash receipt in counter. There is possibility. So there is a specific accounting treatment, but maybe you can read from my slide. Okay, I can, and I give you example here, so maybe you can read. Okay, and this one is I mentioned that received in the email, so that still need an internal control. For example, two people are assigned the task of opening the mail. Okay, the cashier deposit the money check in the bank directly. Okay, and the record keeper record the amount received by check in the accounting record, and also performed by the different parties. But anyway, check can actually can also a bit minimize.
I love myself, but
can minimize the problem of human error, because the check itself is already printed by the payer. So basically, our staff cannot make any amendment to the check. So I think it's a bit safe when we receive a payment by using a check. Okay, and nowadays, okay, many of companies prefer to use this because EFT cost less, okay, than receiving cash payment through the mail. Okay, electronic fund transfer also enhance internal control over cash, since the cash is received directly by the bank without any employees handling cash. So human error is minimized here. Okay, and effective reduce late payment from customer and speed up the processing of cash received. And nowadays, okay, we can also see the what we call the process of the check that we have received. Okay, sorry. If FT not using the check, so we can check the transaction is received or not by using the internet. By the bank app application and by the bank application. For example, in Malaysia, we have Maybank to you for Maybank Berhad. So anytime we can check the payment we receive or the payment we paid by login into the system. So I think easy right now. Okay, this one is more preferable today. Okay, and control. Okay, control for payment. Okay, basically payment is made by basically if you payment for credit, for credit purchase. Okay, normally we use check to make a payment. Okay, so I think it's just the handling of check must be handled properly. Okay, and the important is we must ensure that the payment is made only for the real transaction, the real liability, not a fixes or fake liabilities. And that's why the officer who issued the check, they must ensure before they write and sign the check, they must ensure that the transaction is valid. Okay, so there is another review by the responsible officer to ensure that the transaction is not fake. But in large company, normally they use another system. Okay, they use another system that we call voucher system. Okay, voucher system actually a system to manage all the liabilities that have to be paid by the companies. So all the liabilities must be included in the system, and then when the check has been prepared or EFT has been performed, so the voucher system will end with the issuance of check. Sorry, okay, all the liabilities will be included in the voucher system, and at the end of the day, the responsible auditor or responsible officer will issue the check. That is the end of the system, to ensure that there is no fake officers expenses, and to ensure that there is no duplication or maybe payment made made it twice or maybe more than once. Okay, that is very important. Okay, unless the small transaction that normally company use petty cash. Okay, another control of cash for minimum for small transaction, normally company use a petty cash. Okay, and I put the information in at the back of the slide. Okay, another control for cash is bank account and bank statement. Okay, bank account and bank statement. Normally companies will use the bank account to keep their money. Okay, so by using this bank account, of course, they can minimize. Okay, the cash is stolen by the employee without authorized. Okay, so and we can, and as I mentioned right now, nowadays we can see the bank account every day. Okay, by using the app. Okay, the internet internet application that set up by the bank, so we can see every day right now. Okay, and particularly in the bank statement, okay, we can use this bank statement as a control. Okay, because every payment every payment made will be recorded in the statement, and any cash received will also recorded in the bank statement. So every transaction we can detect from this statement. So by using this statement, okay, we can confirm that there is no mismanagement of asset of cash in particularly among the employees. And of course, you must familiar with the certain of term used by bank. Okay, EC, error correction to correct bank error, not sufficient fund check, service charge, automated clearing house. This is certain information that normally used in the bank statement. So you should understand. Okay, and now how we can use this bank statement to control our cash, because normally our cash in our record may be different from balance that show in the bank statement. So that's why we can use this bank statement as a source to do a bank reconciliation. Okay, and this is why I think the bank reconciliation. Okay, how many minutes, Barol? Maybe 2 or 5?
2 minutes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so bank reconciliation. So basically, bank reconciliation is the way the company can use to confirm why the balance in the accounting record and also the bank statement is different. Okay, so we can use this method, and normally in audit, this one is the basic tool. Okay, in terms of audit, normally we have another more extensive method. Okay, instead of bank reconciliation, we have extended bank reconciliation. We can use proof of cash to check cash. But this is basic, and this bank reconciliation normally not only performed by the auditors but also by the companies. Companies can also use this to check the difference. And normally the difference is due to time and also error. Okay, because I summarize here, because the difference normally is due to deposit in transit. Okay, deposit in transit is referring to when the company receive check from customer, then the bank check to the bank, but of course you must understand the check must follow the clearing system, and normally depend on type of check. So let's say the check may be cleared in 3 days. So that could be a reason why the deposit has been recorded in our record, but still not appear in the bank statement. And outstanding checks. Okay, outstanding check, that means we already issued the check to the particular third parties, but the third party still not claim the money from our account. So that's why make another reason why the balance is not same, it's not similar, not same. Okay, and at the bank level, maybe the difference is due to collection and interest, collection and rebate, because maybe our customer pay directly to the bank. Okay, so and they didn't notice us, so we do not know that they have made a payment. So the payment included in the bank statement, but we did not record anymore in our bank and in our cash account, cash statement, cash account in our company, cash book in our cash book. And also uncollectible item, and also errors. Okay, errors can be made by both party. Maybe errors by our staff at the company level, or errors by the banks. Maybe bank make errors when perform certain transaction. Okay, so that is the reason why the balance between our book and the bank statement may be different. Okay, so so the bank reconciliation is the way we make it similar. We make it the result the same, and this is the step. I think I show you, and this time I give you an example. Okay, I give you an example how the bank statement is prepared, and at the end of the day, we can see that the most important is the adjusted balance. Okay, after we finish the bank reconciliation, you can see that the bank record adjusted balance is 2,630, and the same amount is shown in the bank statement. Okay, so this is why the example how we prepare the bank reconciliation. And I think you can see the example, so I think you can understand, okay, how we prepare this. And this is the record that we have to prepare, journal entries, only for adjustment that has been stated in the bank statement, but not yet stated in our account. Okay, so we have to adjust the transaction. Okay, there is an example of the journal entries for that particular example, and this one is last one. Petty cash, I just mentioned, it normally is used for small or miscellaneous expenses. Okay, small expenses in the companies, so the companies can use this petty cash to control small expenses. But in large company, normally they use a special petty cash. Normally for payroll and also for travel expenses. Depend on nature of the business. Okay, normally for payroll. Okay, for large company, normally they use petty cash for payroll. That means the payroll system is managed by using the petty cash, so they didn't interrupt another system and another cash account in that particular company. Okay, and at the end of the day, okay, I just remind you again that there is no perfect internal control in any organization, okay, and basically the best control is by yourself, okay. You must establish strong integrity in yourself, okay. I think that is the best control, okay. You feel accountable. Always remember that everything we do, always Allah will always see what we do. And when we learn accounting, we do not only learn how to account the company's money, but we must also know how to account our right and left. Rockit and Atit never forget to record of our sin and our reward, okay, for everything that we do, okay, what we do. So that is the my conclusion, okay. There is no perfect internal control that can be implemented by the companies, and at the end of the day, we must depend on ourselves, okay. We must have integrity, okay, and I think that the appropriate term is taqwa, not than that. Okay, taqwa is the best internal control in our life. Okay, so I think that's all, Dr. Baron. So I am very sorry because some of the issue maybe I cannot discuss in more detail. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mohid, for your presentation and your sharing about the cash fraud and also internal control. Very interesting. So now the last question is how to build out the integrity itself. How to build out the integrity in ourselves. This is most important, I think. In the end of our discussion, that how to build integrity as accountant. This is because not easy at all when we are joining the work, and then sometimes
yes, of course,
we have the opportunity, we have the realization, and we have the. So I think this fraud triangle is very okay, very harmful. I think I think the student, I think I also think, okay, for example, like the student from the WebY, they are doing the graduation already, got the bachelor degree in accounting, and then they are doing the work, but in fact that they face the problem, okay. I think we have the opportunity how to increase, to enhance the integrity in the reality. Okay.
Yes, yeah, I agree that the point, Dr. Barol, is actually is a big challenge. Okay, a big challenge. Here we can say no.
Yeah.
Here we can say no. Okay, but when the threat is in when the threat is on our table right now, there is the real test.
Real
okay? Yeah, there is the real test. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, that's not easy. And even in accountant as a professional, okay, but particularly for the auditors, okay, yeah, they is guided by law. Okay, the accountant must be professional and also objective, and we stand independent and perform the work in skepticism throughout the work. Okay, but I think it's difficult, okay, to in our nature, because accountant, okay, we depend on our employers to get our income, and the auditors, they depend on client to survive. Okay, there is a big challenge in our profession, and that's why I always say to my student, this is actually the black hole, okay, in our profession. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, and when I show you the certain of fraud that I show you before, when we talk about Enron, Welcome, even when we talk about Welcome, Satyam, okay, and also YMDB in Malaysia. Most of the accounting scandal involve big firm. How can you imagine if the big firm, okay, can involve in those scandal? How can you imagine for the small firm? I think this actually is a really threat. Yeah, it's a really threat in our profession. Particularly when we are in the position that we have, in the position that we have, we have an authority to make a decision. During that time, okay, is the real threat will come. And of course, okay, based on those what are stated in the guideline in the bylaw, I think we cannot survive. That's why I re-emphasize that the only way is to develop our integrity by always feel accountable. Feel accountable, taqwa. The only way. Okay, because by feel accountable that everything we do will be counted in Yaumul Mahsyar, that is the only way that we can try to keep. Okay, to keep our integrity and our objectivity. Otherwise, it's not easy. And again, now we can say it. Okay, but when the amount in front of us, the test is coming, and during that time, we ask to have you must we must pray. Allah will help us. Okay, because our iman will going down and going up. Okay, and we worry during that time our iman is the worst. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. I think the student have to listen what the Dr. Mohid mentioned, that we have to increase our iman or increase our taqwa, because as accountant it's not easy at all. Meaning that we will face some issue, that some opportunity. You will meet the fraud triangle. Yeah, so you have to be careful about this. Okay. I still remember what my supervisor, when I'm going PhD in Malaysia, he mentioned that, do you know, brother, what the meaning of professional accountants? People will come to you and they believe with you, meaning that they will come to you with the opportunity, for example, how to make the annual report, to make fake the annual report, to fake the number, for example. You have to be careful about this. Okay, so this is same like what my professor said. Okay, for everyone, the student, any question that want to discuss, I want to ask to Dr. Mohid regarding about the cash, fraud, and internal control. Silakan, teman-teman, bagi ingin tanya. Is there any question you want to ask to Dr. Mohid?
Yep.
Yuk, silakan. Siapa yang ingin tanya?
If I can answer, I will answer. If I I cannot answer, I will KIV. Okay, and you can doesn't matter. You can ask in Indonesian language. You can ask in Javanese also. Okay, no problem.
No problem. Okay, so I think.
But jangan jauh halus ya, jangan jauh halus. Jauh biasa boleh lagi lah.
Biasa boleh lagi ya. Okay, dah boleh sesiapa ni? Ya, budak-budak ni nak tanya siapa? Ayo. Siapa ini yang mau tanya? Silakan. The question can be asked with bahasa Indonesia, bahasa Inggris pun boleh. Silakan. Yang tanya siapa? Yang tanya siapa? Is there any question? Mau tanya sesuatu terkait tentang cash? So, teman-teman silakan. Girls and boys, silakan. Siapa yang ingin tanya? Aditya Prasetyo nih yang suka tanya nih biasanya nih. Aditya Prasetyo di SCI. Silakan mau tanya apa nih? Siapa? Rizka, Rifki, Hanan. Okay. So I think I will ask your opinion, Dr. Mohid. Waiting also the student I think want to ask. So on your slide, I think I saw that slide you mentioned about the okay, small and medium companies might think on it's more than 1,000 times to implement an effective internal control. You mean that if I think yes, I think the big challenge, they don't have any fund. They don't have any staff to handle some issue about the internal control. So my question is, but is it still possible that if it is small company, small firm, or maybe the startup business, they have the internal control? Is it possible or impossible actually if they will do that?
In my opinion, yeah, the company is still possible to perform, to implement, but certain, not all. Okay, because we have yeah, because when we talk about cost of benefit, that means the company still can as opportunity as a possibility to implement the control system, but they cannot, they do not effort to set up the ideal one. So maybe they have to, yeah, maybe I think the companies can make can have consultation from audit firm to advise them. So the companies can implement certain internal control at least, rather than none at all. Okay, but at least the existing internal control can minimize from happen in the company. For example, okay, of course, when for control procedures, for example, I have mentioned that there are basically five or six elements. Okay, maybe the companies for each function maybe they cannot, do not effort to implement all. Okay, they don't have enough sufficient staff to perform segregation. Okay, it's okay. Maybe still can assign one staff to handle that task, but the company must establish a strong review system. That means the review system must be strong to ensure that the monitoring function will effective monitor, okay, what task has been performed by that particular staff, to ensure that the staff do not make any misstatement of fraud. Okay, that means the company must consider maybe some because we to ensure that the fraud risk, the control risk is zero, is impossible. So they can perform certain element, at least they can minimize. Okay, and hopefully certain internal control that implemented can at least can compensate the weaknesses, the weakness of another internal control that was not implemented by the company. For example, that I mentioned, if we cannot segregate the duties, so we create the complete documentation, and all this condition must be reviewed by a strong monitoring system. I think by using this certain of internal control procedures, yes, we can minimize fraud from happen in the companies, even we do not implement all. Okay, so that's why in that I think this one is normally happen in practice. That's why normally auditors is required to assess this control risk, because they understand that some companies maybe just implement some of the control procedures, not all. Okay.
So that's why the big company need to control because they have high risk and the complexity of the structure organization. I think this is very important.
Yeah, very important.
Need internal control, and so to manage the cash management system, how they manage the cash and the company. Okay, I think because the problem in small company is not like the complexity like the big company. Okay. So let's talk about the electronic fund transfer. So I think during pandemic COVID-19, I think that's a lot of the company they are using the electronic fund transfer. So this is very easy to transfer. So I think so how if we talk about the practice, auditor practice, for example, like, so how to do the control when the auditor want to check the electronic fund transfer, for example, because if we look at from the document, electronic document, this is the electronic document is original or not. So for example, so can you give us the idea, or maybe your opinion, Dr. Mohid, how to differentiate on how to how the auditor can they do their job when they have to face some document, electronic document, how to make to make the clear this one is the fake document. However, they have the sign, the authority from the top management, for example. So how to do that?
Yeah, this is very difficult question. Okay, okay.
So just your opinion. Just your opinion. That's it.
Okay, so actually, in this scenario, we must understand to different perspective. First, the changes from the manual accounting system to the accounting to the internet to computerized accounting system. Okay, and of course, in the computerized accounting system, the nature is different. Basically, the transaction is same. Okay, and also the name of the document is same, but it's not exist in physical. Okay, so virtual. Okay, all everything in virtual. That means the nature of the internal control that must be implemented by the companies is also different. Okay, because there is no more human involvement in the ecosystem, or maybe have, but limited. Okay, maybe human is used to key in the input, to key in the input, and the rest is processed by the system, or totally automated. If totally automated, that means the transaction can be performed by from the outside. Okay, so this is more that's more difficult. Okay, and in this system, okay, must also facilitated by the effective internal control system. Okay, yes, of course, we cannot perform, we cannot implement segregation of duties, but we can use password, for example, use password to access the system using the password. So certain officers have their certain password. So we can detect the person who access to the system by using that particular password. Okay, and of course, in the accounting system, of course, the human error will be minimized, but we must also remember that the threats is also big from the scammers. Okay, from the scammers. Okay, scammers can maybe can hijack our accounting system. Okay, and the other one, maybe internal control, segregation duties maybe can be implemented for the programmers. Programmers cannot access the system. Because they develop the system, so they cannot use the system, for example. Okay, so this is some example of internal control that must be performed for accounting system. And normally for in the auditing process, okay, how the auditors can ensure that the system is working properly, actually depend. Okay, depend on the complication, the complexity of the accounting system. Okay, if the system is not complex, that means like say the company maybe only use a standalone accounting system, maybe UBS, Mayop, Peachtree, for example. So in this scenario, normally companies still keep the hard copy document. So in this scenario, normally the auditors still can use manual audit. Okay, manual audit. Okay, so can use manual audit for the audit. But for the companies who perform fully automated, everything in the computer, no more hard copy. So in this scenario, normally the auditors have no choice. They must audit the companies by using the CAAT. Okay, CAT. We call this CAT, computerized auditing tool. Okay, there are a few in the market. Okay, like IDEA. IDEA. I don't know what I want ACL. Okay, there's a certain few. Okay, there's certain few of CAT tool that normally used by the auditors to audit the automated accounting system. But the most expensive one is when the auditors have to develop their own CAAT. That is the most expensive one, because we have to understand that certain companies, like for example, maybe Shell, maybe Maybank Berhad, they develop their own accounting system. And so when they develop their own accounting system, this means the auditors must have the specific CAAT that can compatible with that system. So that's more expensive. And normally, automated accounting, the computerized accounting system, auditing system is only performed by big firm, okay, big firm, and also international firm. I think small firm, they do not effort to use this method to audit the highly automated companies.
Okay, thank you Dr. Mohid. Very interesting, very interesting. Oke, silakan teman-teman bagi yang ingin tanya, boleh silakan. Yang ingin bertanya, saya udah tanya 2 kali nih sama Dr. Mohid. Saya terus yang nanya nih kayaknya. Ya, ayo siapa yang ingin tanya silakan. Mau pakai bahasa Indonesia pun boleh, mau pakai bahasa Inggris pun boleh. Siapa yang ingin tanya? Halo, 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 halo. Nih, kalian pada meresum semua nggak sih? Ini harus diresum nih. So you have to resume.
Ya, ngomong Jawa pun boleh juga.
Oh, ngomong Jawa. Okay, Dr. Mohid, you originally you have the family also from Indonesia or?
So, yeah, actually, my what we call my atuk-atuk dulu lah, okay. Actually, based on Semarang.
Semarang. Oh, so
Semarang.
you still have the family also in Semarang?
Yeah, still have there, but I never go there. So maybe I never know.
The Semarang is from your mother or your father or your?
Both my mother and my father. Okay. My brother, elder brother have went there before. Okay, but the rest is never.
Grandmother, grandfather.
Yeah. My grandfather and grandmother.
So if we hadn't have any COVID-19, for example, I think you are visit Indonesia and Semarang especially, right?
Yeah. I previously I go to Jogja, and actually during that I interested to go there, but because we went there by a group, so I have to live my dream.
Oh.
Okay, if I go personally or maybe by family, maybe I will try to find them.
Oh, okay. So you can visit again because I think Malaysia is already open now, not yet.
Not
still
yet. Only open interstate. Interstate we are open, but still we close to the international.
Okay. Ayo silakan bagi yang ingin tanya teman-teman. Ini lama-lama saya curhat nanti sama Dr. Mohid nih. Ini lama-lama nanti kita curhat malahan.
The student is international accounting program.
Yeah, this one is international program, but some of the student from the regular program.
Oh,
so,
I see.
But mostly.
Why is it different?
If for international program, we are conducting the lecturing by the English language, and the discussion. I think the quite more complex because we talk about the international issue also. But for the regular, I think just for the local, national, Indonesian studies, Indonesian issue. So all in Bahasa Indonesia.
But the students still Indonesian. There is no foreigners.
The foreigners, I think for this first semester, I think this semester we have from dari mana? Gambia
China.
Ya. Dan dua dari mana sih? Gambia dan.
Oh, Gambia.
Yang baru? Sudan sama Yaman. Sudan, Yaman, and Gambia.
Okay. There is no Chinese from mainland.
Chinese, no.
Oh.
It's not Chinese. I think the Chinese.
We have so many Chinese students from mainland here.
Oh, really?
Every semester, the intake is about 200.
Oh, okay.
About 200 from Chinese mainland.
They speak English only, or like?
Very difficult. Some of them can speak English, but some of them nothing at all. Okay, just very. That's why previously we have to set a foundation, English foundation for them before they can enter the normal
In the UKM, is there any that prerequisite for the before the starting for the class? They have to pass first for the English class first. Is there any?
Yes. For them, yes, we have. We do for that for them. So they must pass first the foundation of English and also certain foundation of certain foundation papers. Then they after they pass that papers, they can proceed with the program.
Program the first semester.
Yeah. But
Okay.
normally not in the accounting program. Normally in the business, because
Business.
yeah, of course, because accounting is regulated, so it's a bit difficult to open to anyone. Okay, so it's more restricted. Yeah, the enrollment.
Oh, restricted only for the local.
No, not the local, but you can open to the foreigners, but they must fulfill the requirement.
Oh, I see. They have fulfilled the requirement. Oke, tuh kan dari curhat kan. Ayo cepet teman-teman, siapa yang mau ini tanya? Nih ada Dr. Mohid nih. Udah jauh-jauh dari Malaysia.
Bukan senang nak jumpa.
Ya,
Bukan senang
udah
nak
jauh
jumpa.
dari Malaysia nih. Kalian nih tinggal tanya, duduk manis, tinggal tanya. Oke, question siapa yang tanya? Nih, ayo. Wih, besok nih lain kali mungkin diwajibin aja. Nih Mbak nih biar diwajibin. Kalau nggak nanya, kasih 0 nilainya. Ini besok lain kali digituin aja nih. Oke, any question? Oke. Ada pertanyaan ya? Oke, so I think we ask suggestion or maybe an encouragement to Dr. Mohid for our student, especially for the accounting student, because this is challenging in the future, especially for the technology also. And also as accountant, this is not easy at all to make the technology. So what the suggestion or maybe encouragement for us when our student, I think, after graduation, what they have to do, or maybe before that, what the preparation, how to improve our skill, maybe any suggestion or maybe any encouragement, Dr. Mohid, for our student in this class?
Very tough question.
No lah, this is like suggestion for your kids, for your son is I think, okay, my son, so you have to improve your skill. So I feel like this.
Actually, I'm not familiar with the accounting profession in Indonesia. Okay, in terms of the career path. Okay, career path in the accounting career in the Indonesia. So I'm not familiar. So maybe my view is wrong, because in Malaysia right now, of course, the challenge in the profession is very tough. Okay, but yeah, of course, we still between graduate from the university and also the professional body always quarrel, always fight each other. Okay, because in Malaysia, professional body try to dominate, okay, the accounting profession. And in Malaysia right now, to become an accountant in Malaysia, okay, you must okay, now this still we can use our degree and also 3 years experience in practice to become a professional accountant. But if you have professional certificate, you will be recommended. Okay, that's mean you have a good chances if you have a professional certificate like ACCA, okay, MICPA, like ACCPA Australia. Okay, so there is a scenario in our country. Okay, that's mean to success in accounting career, you must have this channel. Okay, but of course, and of course, you must always update your knowledge after you got the title as a chartered accountant. You must always update your knowledge, because industries is going on. Okay, technology moving forward and moving very fast. Okay, moving very fast. If so, and of course, the digital accounting system will affect our profession. And normally my student is very worried. Again, many of them ask, what happened with our profession now, because many companies have used digital what we call computerized calculator system, no more manual. So accountant no job. They worry about that. Okay, so, but but I always remind them, don't worry at all. Okay, yes, digital is moving forward. Okay, and of course very fast. But okay, we can see the technology of handphone, of smartphone. Okay, nowadays accounting system and the CAT is very expensive. Okay, if you compare to the smartphone 10 years ago, maybe very expensive, but nowadays we can see handphone maybe at less than, in Malaysia maybe less than 1,000. We can maybe less than 500 we can buy handphone right now. That is the technology changes in the smartphone, but in the accounting system, okay, in the accounting system and also the CAT as well. Okay, nowadays the cost is very expensive, and so my expectation right now, okay, most of the companies, particularly small companies, small and medium companies, okay, we must remember, okay, I always mention them. There are only about 1,000 of companies in the Bursa Malaysia, but there are 240,000 small and medium companies in Malaysia. That is in context of Malaysia. But Indonesia, I don't know. Okay, how many of them? This means, yes, of course. And from that 1,000 of company listed in Bursa Malaysia, maybe how many percent of them use fully automated? How many of them? Maybe less than 30%, and most of them still use, basically still maybe combination of manual or mixed method, okay, mixed design. Maybe they still use some of them use computerized, some of them still use keep in manual. Some of them, okay. So yes, sometimes that's why I always ask my students, don't only ask Big Four, don't only ask large firm, because you ask the outliers. You ask the outliers. Yes, when you ask Big Four, yes, they will talk about digitalized, they will talk about the automated accounting system. But basically, yes, we do not ignore that the technology is changes, and of course, this is important because they are large company. Okay, but my advice to my student normally, okay, we need to wait until one day when we can see that the accounting system and the CAT tool is cheaper like the handphone right now. Yes, during that time you have no choice. During that time you have no choice. You must facilitate yourself with the IT and all those technology. But yes, for nowadays, yes, if you want to involve in large company, you have to. You have to. If you want engage to large company, you want to work in big firm, you want to work in Big Four, yes, you no choice. Okay, but if you work in small companies, I think still you can to lega lah. Yeah. So yes, the impact is there. Okay, but I think you have to select the appropriate path with your skill, with your talent. Okay, of course, individual talent is different among of you. Okay, so you must analyze yourself. Okay, which what is your strength, what is your weakness. Okay, and so develop your confidence, and then if you really your dream to work in large firm and Big Four, then during that time you must work to be there. Okay, you must work to be there. Okay, actually we cannot summarize for all, we cannot state it for all, no, because the situation is different. Okay, in some area, yes, we need the technology. In some part, maybe we can delay the implementation of the technology. So we have to look at overall macro perspective, not rather than micro perspective.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mohid. Already explained, give suggestion, give in general opinion, general view about our student, especially for our student in OMY. So because in Indonesia we have the AK akuntan, so the AK CA meaning that we have to pass the test again, so we have to do the twice about the test, AK akuntan and CA certified accountant. So the certified accountant so have to make sure that they can pass the test in several times, so they have to do that. And also CPA, also Indonesia is familiar with CPA.
CPA
but
Australia.
Yes, Australia is familiar here in Indonesia, but
CCA no?
CCA not.
Yeah, because why not? Why? What is the reason? Because you are not Commonwealth. You are not conquered by the British. You are conquered by the Belanda. Okay. That's why normally SCCA they focus on Commonwealth company. Okay, Commonwealth countries. Okay, but and there are so many Commonwealth countries, and the only countries that they can dominate is Malaysia. Okay, even we go to Australia. Okay, yeah, they recognize SCCA, but SCCA cannot market their product in Australia because CPA Australia emphasize their CPA. Okay, so there's no, because that's why SCCA very strong in Malaysia.
Okay, so that's why my professor they got the SCCA, CPA. Oh, it's not easy.
Yeah, not easy. Okay. There are so many conflicts there actually. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Mohid, for your explanations, your guidance, your experience for sharing today. So hopefully the student can understand and the student can motivate, get the motivation from Dr. Mohid, especially for how to understand about the cash fraud and about the internal control. So this is very important. So inshallah, it can be applied in the company when you are doing the job for the next future, inshallah, after after you did your bachelor degree in accounting and OMY. So thank you very much, Dr. Mohid, and inshallah semoga barokah selalu ke keluarga dan juga Dr. Mohid pastinya. Dan waktu the times saya kembalikan kepada Sister Salma Atila. So, I will get back to you, Sister Salma.
Okay, thanks to Mr. Mohid for the attractive material. Hopefully it can help the audience to have a better understanding of introduction to accounting, cash, frauds, and internal controls topic. And thanks to Mr. Bahrul Ilmi as the moderator who guide today's discussion more clearly. Now it's turning to the last agenda, which is closing. As a master of ceremony, I do apologize for any mistakes during this event. Finally, I say thank you. Before leaving this event, kindly please everyone turning on your camera because we want to take a picture.
Take picture. Yeah.
Okay, if everyone ready. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2, 3. And the last. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for joining this event and see you on the next event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Mohid. Thank you for everyone. Give salam to your family, Dr. Mohid.
Inshallah.
In Malaysia, inshallah. See you again, inshallah.
Okay.